Bar Kokhba, 9th of Av, year 135. Dear Diary, today the 9th of Av is a historic day. After 3 years of Jewish sovereignty, the flame that I spark has diminished but has not been extinguished. Although we were ultimately defeated militarily, I am so grateful that in my short life, I was able to spark a Jewish revolt to take back our pride. I could not simply sit back and watch the Romans pillage our land and culture. I felt a personal obligation to take action against our oppressors and show them that the Jewish people are not weak. We are the descendants of David and Shlomo HaMelech. As we carry our ancestors on our shoulders and shields, we fight for a higher purpose. Now, my friends, as I sit in the besieged city of Beitar and watch my life's work burn in front of my eyes, I pass on the torch to my contemporary and peer, Rabbi Akiva. To all the future generations of Bnei Israel, know that we died with pride so that you can live with pride. Am Yisrael Chai. We light a fire in our hearts to commemorate the bravery of Bar Kokhba and those who participated in the Bar Kokhba revolt.
Elazar Ben Yair, January 74 CE. Dear Diary, after much deliberation and internal struggle, I've come to the terms with the fact that there is only one way that we can respond to the Roman siege. This struggle will end tomorrow when we end our lives with an act that will reflect the bravery and strength that is burning within us. I will tell the remaining 967 Jewish troops that we have held out for 3 long years like a flickering candle, but we will not be extinguished by our enemies. We will choose to die on our own terms. We will leave no supplies for our enemies to steal and use. We will leave food over so that the Romans do not think that we died because of lack of resources. So with that, I say goodbye and hope that my light shines on. To all the future generations of Bnei Israel, know that we died with pride so that you can live with pride. Am Yisrael Chai. We light a fire in our hearts to commemorate the bravery of Elazar Ben Yair and those who participated in the Masada revolt.
Emmanuel Ringelblum, September 1939. Dear Diary, the horrors that I witnessed must become public knowledge. I fear that history will not remember the fate of European Jewry. We once lived. Not only did we live, but we thrived. I fear my end is near. They will kill me, but they won't extinguish my flame. The spark of the Jewish people will live on with my documentation that will be buried underground. Onik Shabbat, my group of brave men and women who will record the atrocities that Hitler and the Nazis are shamelessly committing, will pass on the legacy of our people to the next generation. We will preserve our pride. We will not die without leaving a piece of us and our illustrious, prideful past behind. To all the future generations of Bnei Israel, know that we die with pride so that you can live with pride. Am Yisrael Chai. We light a fire to commemorate the bravery of Emmanuel Ringelblum and those who participated in Onik Shabbat, the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, and those who perished in the ghetto, in order for us to live our lives as proud Jews. Am Yisrael Chai.
The following poem sheds light on the horrors of the Warsaw Ghetto. This life that we call our own is neither strong nor free. A flame in the wind of death, it trembles ceaselessly. And this all we can do, to use our little light before in the piercing wind it flickers into night. To yield the heat of the flame, to grudge not but to give, whatever we have of strength, that one more flame may live.
Rowie Klein, July 26, 2006. To my dearest Rowie, never in my life have I felt so conflicted by my emotions. On the one hand, there's a fire consuming my every breath because I now have to live without you. On the other hand, my heart glows with pride because of the selflessness you proved today, throwing your body over a grenade to protect your fellow soldiers, your friends. They have been given another opportunity at life because you were willing to sacrifice yours. You are brave, my son, and a true role model for me your platoon, your sons, and Am Yisrael. You have demonstrated just how much you are willing to give in order to protect our country, our home, and you have made us prouder than you could ever know. Although it pains me to know that that wild spark in your eye is no longer shining, and sometimes I think it impossible to go on. I owe it to you, and the nation owes it to you, to continue fighting, with our own personal and national wars, in order to defend our land and independence. Rowie, what you have done today is heroic. Your flame has not been extinguished, but it has joined with those of thousands of others who have fallen in battle to defend our borders. Together, your light will not be forgotten. You brought Hashem with you until the end, shouting Shema Yisrael one final time. You died with pride so that we can live with pride. Rowie, because of you, Am Yisrael fly. We light a fire in our hearts to commemorate the bravery of Rowie Klein.
The strength exhibited by the Jewish people from Bar Kokhba to Warsaw to now has manifested itself in many different forms, from individual hardships and heroism to group uprisings. As we stand here in what remains of Warsaw, the horrors and tragedies that occurred here 74 years ago remains unfathomable. Yet, the courageous souls of Warsaw, through their resilience and blazing pride, have paved the path to what is now common practice in our homelands of Israel. Today, whenever and whomever we fight with pride. From our independence in 1948, Six-Day War in 1967, Yom Kippur War in 1973, to the Lebanon Wars and most recently, Operation Protective Edge. We defend our lives and what is rightfully ours with pride. We fight with pride so that our future generations can live with pride.
Bar Kokhba, Elazar Ben Yair, Emmanuel Ringelblum, Rowie Klein.
Stood up against their oppressors with a fiery passion.
Bar Kokhba, Elazar Ben Yair, Emmanuel Ringelblum, Rowie Klein.
Stayed strong like a flickering candle.
Bar Kokhba, Elazar Ben Yair, Emmanuel Ringelblum,
Passed their light on to the future generations.
Bar Kokhba, Elazar Ben Yair, Emmanuel Ringelblum, Rowie Klein.
Died with pride so that future generations can live with pride.
Am Yisrael.